Alright everyone, now after I posted my initial 10,000 subscriber Q&A poll, I've gotten quite a few questions from that. I'm happy I got people who followed the rules and gave me plenty of interesting questions, and I got quite a lot from it, so I'll try my best to go through them. Some have been ignored if I don't have a good answer for them or if they are similar to another question someone asked. I am really glad to finally answer so many people and hear how many really like me and my work enough to ask them. Again, I'm so happy I've gotten this far, you have no idea. But yeah, without further ado, let's start. Are you the one drawing your OC and thumbnails, or do you have an artist that helps you? And what is your OC based on? I believe Father from QnA. Yes, every single thing you have seen on my channel that isn't like clips or music I use for my videos is entirely done by me. I do all the scripting, recording, editing, and I make any and all the unique art and occasional animatics or animations for it, including the persona art and thumbnails. The only time I ever get someone else's help for them is when I need a voice actor for something, like Larissa Crow for doing a Daphne voice in the Mystery Incorporated video, or Sammy B for voicing Lady Blaze Blizzard in the Fiona and Cake video. So yeah, that's kind of why these videos take a while to do and why they're so taxing. I literally have to do everything by hand. But I am very happy that my years of experience in art has helped me out a lot for this. And about my persona, it's actually a kind of long and funny story. So my name, Shady Blaze Blizzard, was actually a randomly generated Tumblr username back in like 2015. That's right, there's no real origin for my name, it's just randomly generated. It's insane to think about it, but I really love the name and it's basically been my go-to username for anything I've done in my identity after. And I made my original design of a pair of sunglasses with an ice and fire motif, literally with the name Shady Blaze Blizzard. And that is where I was for so long, my persona, just the glasses. But I've always wanted a more interactional and presentable persona than just that. But I never could think of what to do. It actually wasn't until I made this channel that was the final push, because I really want to make a persona for my videos to portray my personality and mood, so I wouldn't just be a disembodied voice. But I still had to think about what to make it. So again, I made it literal with the name. The sunglasses were a core component, of course, but I wanted to make a fitting body, like an actual shadowy guy, hence the shady part of the name. It actually went through a lot of brainstorming and trouble to get exactly what I wanted, because I tried to put so much of what I liked and I didn't want to overclutter the design, while still keeping it still distinct and cohesive. Still trying to maintain the dual aesthetic, but be relatively normal and not try hard. It took a few tries, as you can see with a few sketches, but eventually I think I managed to pull out the perfect balance of cool yet down to earth I was going for, and I love my current persona, even if it took me another year to finally design the full body. The father similarities are actually completely coincidental, but it's really funny. Dude legit looks like it could be my father, especially with his fire stuff. Maybe I'm actually the product of a Todoroki situation with them. So yeah, that's how my persona came to be. It's crazy. Have you ever thought about doing another villain rankings on other franchises you like or no? I have been thinking, but I don't want to do just a villain ranking like YouTube's already filled with those. I was thinking to do another ranking on disturbingness, but that was done for QnA because of how legitimately twisted and insane the villains were in such a lighthearted show, and it's fun to rank them based on it. I think regular show actually could make another video like that, since it has a massive rogues gallery from ranging threat and disturbing levels, so maybe one day I'll do that. What was the TV channel you mainly watched as a kid? As we've all had that one TV channel we solely watch and get our content from. I had the big three growing up through most of my childhood, give or take Discovery Kids. I didn't watch The Hub except for maybe Dan Vs on occasion, and I don't think I ever watched one particularly more than the other. I guess if I had to say it, it probably is Cartoon Network, since it's probably the most variety in shows I like, but I did eventually lose cable and have to rely on Cubo. Thank you, Mysteries with Alfred Hedgehog, I would have gone insane without you. Thoughts on Death Battle? I also recommend the Sonic IDW comics. I don't really care much for them. I honestly feel they have as much actual authority on deciding who wins than any guys arguing power scaling on the internet, just with a big enough budget to actually make whoever they want to win. Stan Lee said it best.
And millions of people out there say, who would win? Well, it depends on who I want to win if I'm writing the script.
I don't really watch them, but I did enjoy the Zatanna one. She's my favorite superhero. But the Ben 10 one really pisses me off for how inaccurate it got. Like, there shouldn't be a contest with Alien X with multiversal, practically omniversal omnipotence and indestructibility. But they ended severing Ben's Omnitrix arm when the show showed you can't do that. Vilgax tried that in the first season of the goddamn show, and the security measures blasted the giant through buildings. He had to put it in a special chamber to neutralize it so he can sever it. So yeah, literally, you can't do that in the show, so they ignore the Foundation in the first freaking season for an unknown victory. It's bullshit. So yeah, still spiteful on that. Also not a Sonic fan. Have you seen The Amazing Digital Circus? If so, what are your thoughts on episode 7? Of course I've seen it. I made a few early videos on the first 2 episodes. I love it, and that episode was really great too. Not to get too spoilery on it, but it was really good and had an engaging plot where you wonder what was going to happen, and especially the reveals at the end. Though I can't believe it's already ending in 2 episodes. Like, the show feels like it could have easily been a 2-season deal, with a more silly, lighthearted first season, and then go through the serious drama in the second. But yeah, still enjoy it. Thoughts on Bubblegum x Marceline? Okay, so multiple questions here. I'm not really a fan of them, partially because I can't stand Bubblegum, as I have made it clear in the past, but Marceline is my favorite character. My main issue is that, like, it feels underdeveloped in this show. Now, I'm not blaming the writers. I know very well you weren't allowed to have a same-sex couple on screen for most of the show's run, but because of that, nearly all the relationship build-up was implied or based off of past history we've never seen. I think that Varmints was a good example where they constantly go, hey, remember when we did this? And I'm like, no, I don't. I never saw this. I'm just being told of it now. It's supposed to build their reconnection, but since it's all just told and implied, I can't get engaged in it, and it makes it feel underdeveloped when I'm not really given any reason why they should be together, or their history, or why they even like each other. I gave credit in Fiona and Cake Season 1 that I got more into Gary and Marshall's romance, since they actually developed it on screen, and that really makes all the difference, even in a much shorter runtime. Also doesn't help that even the sequel shows like barely develop their relationship on screen more, and if anything, kind of makes you think more on how it doesn't work. And it's probably controversial, but that's how I feel. Favorite indie cartoon? As I said, I really love Digital Circus, but there's some other indie stuff I like. I really hope Guinevere gets off the ground. God knows Dana deserves it. I enjoyed Super Science Friends a lot. Really wish it got picked up as a full series, but unfortunately I think it ended, which is a massive shame. Also, I'm a big fan of Gwen Saga. I love this thing, but too bad I'll probably be dead by the time the next episode releases. Also, can Acne please win a fight for once? Video idea you want to do, but for whatever reason can't. I've had a ton I want to do. Like, I have so many smaller shows and games I want to do big videos on. Drawn to Life, Yokai Watch, Keepo in the Age of Wonder Beasts, Fallout franchise retrospective, and by God it would kill to make a Never Oasis video. But a lot of that stuff I feel are too niche and need to get a much bigger audience before I feel comfortable branching out to these more niche topics. Not to mention any limitations getting gameplay footage. I can't quite do so yet. Also, I kind of would like to do another Fallout show review on the next season, but that is like literally my lowest performing video ever made, so yeah, not gonna happen. Out of all the characters you made, who is your most favorite and who's your least? Oh man, don't make me choose. Like, really, I can't choose between my babies. They might get jealous. Do you like Soulsborne games? If so, which one is your favorite? Actually, I don't like Soulsborne games. I find them too annoying and hard to perfect to enjoy. Like, I played Neo for a bit and gave up by the second boss because I had such trouble just not dying repeatedly and going at a complete snail's pace. I know other people love these type of games, but I just find them too difficult and time consuming to enjoy. I'd rather play anything else. Like, literally trying hours to get a perfect run just to progress just makes games completely painful for me. And also I don't like roguelikes. Like, nothing kills my enjoyment of a game than having to constantly die and reset my progress just to try again and inch progressing. It's too much for me. Will you do other retrospectives like Day the Barbarian or other underrated and forgotten shows? Actually, fun fact, like a month ago, I was rewatching Day the Barbarian. Oh my god, this show is completely hilarious. Like, genuinely, its sense of humor and absurdism is so good, and it legitimately perfectly matches modern internet shitpost humor back in 2006. Like, oh my god, it's so funny.
Thinking quickly, Dave constructs a homemade megaphone using only some string, a squirrel, and a megaphone. The story you are about to hear is not that great. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad story, it has chickens in it. It's just not great.
I love a happy ending. Happy ending? They're gonna destroy half a continent. Yeah, but not the half we live in. Good point.
Fighting battle, which we can't show you because it would be much too expensive for a cheap show like this. Thereafter, the monster's enormous muffin top provides bouncy fun for all the children. Except little Billy Mencken, who isn't allowed on it because he's been bad.
It was so ahead of its time. If it came out nowadays, it would be huge. I do definitely want to do a video on it one day, but I don't know when is the best time. But I do think I might be able to do a video on it sometime next year. And yeah, I probably will cover some other shows, but the underrated ones I gotta wait. One day, Kipo, you will get the attention you deserve. Hey Shady, if you can see any classic Cartoon Network cartoon get a theatrical film and be in charge of it, which would you pick? Well, it depends on what you mean by classic. I do think Adventure Time is definitely the best candidate, as it has that fame and reach for it, not to mention it has limitless possibilities for what a movie can even be about. But if you mean classic like 2000s era, I'd say Ben 10. Like, again, has the worldwide relevancy for it, and can easily handle a theatrical story. I'll see it to the Undertakers are so high quality, it easily could have gotten a theatrical run, though that's my candidate. Have you ever heard of Atomic Betty? It's an underrated Canadian animated show. I suggest you watch it. I've heard of it, don't really feel like reviewing it. Which of these characters would win in a fight? Jenny, Ruby, Ben 10, Zim, Fiona and Cake, Jake Long, or any other characters? Well, of those characters, Ben wins easily, but he souls most of fiction. Then between Jenny and Ruby, I go for Ruby just slightly. I think with proper texting it could beat Jake, but if with Sucker Punch, he would win. And Fiona would spend the entire fight complaining about how DJ Flame doesn't like her. What inspired you to create My Life as a Teenage Kraken? Well, the My Life as a Teenage Kraken series originally came out as a way for me to try and promote the Teenage Kraken movie that just came out. Like, it was getting no attention whatsoever. I found that Ruby and Jenny were very similar in personality and both had a similar thing going on, so it would make the perfect parody and eye-catching thing to get people interested, as I worked for 4 days straight to finish the first animatic, when I have never done anything to that level before, but I'm happy I did finish it. Though I will say that when it did get a bit popular, that some people legit didn't know it was a parody and thought it was an original work, and if that doesn't tell you how little this studio marketed the movie, I don't know what will. And I just keep it going every now and then, mostly for storyboarding practice and to get something to the fandom, you know? Is Chelsea or Narissa separate or the same person in your version of My Life as a Teenage Kraken? Honestly, don't think too hard about it. These animatics are just whatever voice lines from the show I think fits. Like, Brit's voice just works for Chelsea and Vex's would work for Narissa, just whatever fits for it. It's not supposed to have consistent lore. What do you think about Tiny, and should she and her teammates appear more often in the franchise? I assume you're talking about the Galactic Enforcers from Ben 10, and yeah, totally. They were like our first proper look at other intergalactic heroes in the universe, and they just barely appeared after their titular episode. Man, not even Omniverse brought them back. I really want to know more about their group's history and each member's past. Ultimo called himself the Specimen Prime. Is he like some unique being among his people? Also, I enjoy Tiny. I feel people forget that the show very clearly shows that adults mature faster than humans, since all of Ben's aliens at 10 were fully grown adults, and Don't Drink the Water showed how much faster they developed, since 4-year-old aliens look a lot more like 10-year-old humans. She deserves a lot better than Synaptech. My question is, do you have some favorite live-action films or shows? Oh, live-action, that's tricky. One of my favorite movies is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Like, I can legit watch that movie forever and never get bored of it. It's so awesome and fun. For shows, I love Community so much. It's so funny and entertaining. But recently, I've also gotten really into the Fallout TV series that came out on Amazon Prime last year. And as a fan of the games, I really love seeing the game's world brought to life and getting new content from it. I can't wait for the next season. Also, I have a huge soft spot for I Dream a Genie. It's so charming and adorable, and Barbara Eden is so damn enjoyable even to this day. Norm the Genie was right.
3 things I can't escape from. Magic lamps, the charms of Barbara Eden, and smooth stuff.
Do you ever plan on making videos on Shantae or Avatar: The Last Airbender? Also, one recommendation, Rise of the Guardians. It's a masterpiece. Oh man, I want to do a Shantae series retrospective so bad. I love the franchise, and it's one of my favorite indie game series, and I do have a full-blown series retrospective planned. But unfortunately, like before, I do think it's just too niche right now for my current audience, so to be able to do that, I'm gonna need more subscribers. So if you do want to see that video, please subscribe if you haven't. As for Avatar, and a lot of people already covered that, so I don't feel the urge. I also don't feel like it's the right time to do Rise of the Guardians. I'll do it one year, but not yet. What about an episode focused on an animated movie that everyone hates but you like a lot? I don't know, it's not like my first video on the channel was anything like that. Which part of the process of video making do you always enjoy doing? And which part do you find yourself putting off until a later time despite it feeling like you can get it done sooner? Well, as I said earlier, I do every part of every video myself, and it can be really taxing. I guess if I had to, editing is one of the better things to do, much more active and interesting, and especially when I get to pull off a special sequence like with the ending of the Mystery Incorporated video. It's challenging, but man, it's satisfying when everything gets done. But to the latter, man, it's definitely recording. It might not show in videos, but man, recording takes a number on me. Like, 1, my videos are usually super long. I cannot enunciate for the life of me. It takes like 3 times every sentence to get a good take. And eventually it just wears down your voice and throat. Sometimes you gotta put it up because you can't physically do it anymore. It's really taxing. What's your favorite video of yours on the channel? And no, the Ruby Gillen videos don't count. JK, say them if you want. Well, if the Ruby Gillen videos don't count, I can't really pick a specific one, but some of my favorites are the Chalk Zone vid, all the Scooby-Doo videos, the New Wisp video, the Bendy videos, the Candy ranking, and the Monster vs. Alien video. What Cartoon Network series deserves a continuation more? Now definitely, like, my god, the series just got screwed over. It's one of my favorites of the network, just for it to get killed unceremoniously. Like, it literally had a season 2 in production, but the network just dropped it or archived it or just sealed another damn dimension or something. Like, what gives? It's legitimately so fantastic, so horrible, heartwarming, so well animated, funny, brilliant, it's so amazing. And Small is legitimately one of my favorite pieces of media ever from how much I related to it. Like, this show could have been the network's next Adventure Time if they gave it a chance, and by God, it completely deserves another shot at life, please. I have always been fascinated with the world of Little Nightmares, and when you did It Sucks to Live in the K&D world, or It Sucks Living in the Ben 10 world, so in the future, will I do a deep dive on why it sucks being in the nowhere and possibly a review of the games? The thing about the Why It Sucks to Live series is that it's supposed to go into worlds that seem happy and fun on the outside. When you look deeper, it's a complete nightmare hellscape. Like, K&D is an over-the-top child's fantasy, but deep inside, it's a nightmare dystopia where kids have fundamentally no rights and are hurt, enslaved, and even killed by whims of adults. Or Ben 10 being a super fun sci-fi, and also having stuff like everything in the universe canonically being destroyed and just cloned for the rest of the series. But it doesn't work when the property is already nightmarish. Like, do you need a video to say why Little Nightmares is the hellest world to live in? It's pretty obvious. And though I know the games and like the design and aesthetics, and I love the State Team music song for it, I don't really feel any reason to do a video on it. I'm not a personal fan. I did Bendy because I'm a big fan. It's the only horror game I got him fully into, and it still has fitted a lot of the channel in a way with its focus on animation. So yeah, sorry. Will you review Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why to Steal Our Garbage? Oh, I would love to. Honestly, an Adventure Time license game video is very much on my to-do list, and I really want to make it. Unfortunately, I don't really have a way to record on handheld devices yet, so that's the biggest hurdle for me in order to actually make a video like that. Firstly, favorite and least favorite Pokemon. Secondly, I have a request for you to cover the Penguins of Madagascar TV show. I've gotten a few for this question. My favorite is Mudkip. Perfection, no notes, best Pokemon ever made. For least, I don't know, there's not a lot of Pokemon like I actually hate. I mean, there's a few especially recently I had to test, like Flamigo, Palma, Tendemus, and Bellibolt. I guess if I had to pick the one, it would be Klinkling. How is this a Pokemon? It's one of the worst designs of the franchise. Like, Klink I can at least get, but what is the theme here? Where's the idea it's just gears that gets more gears, then it gets a ring? Who will design this and got approved? Like, it's the most nothing, non-cohesive design ever. It doesn't become a thing, it's just a bunch of gears. It's like Doug Trio or Magneton, but I can give them a pass because that was Gen 1, when the design style hasn't been finalized, not Gen 5. And even then, Magneton got Magnezone, which is an awesome design of a magnetic 50s-style UFO creature that gives a proper progression. This just... what am I looking at? This game came out, people hated Vanillish and Trubbish, but at least they had ideas of what they're going for. An ice cream that gets more deluxe as it grows, or a trash-eating creature overflowing, becoming a monstrous landfill. This is just gears and shit. This isn't a creature, it's just a mess and I hate it. This one deserves all those guys hate. For the Penguins thing, maybe I don't see much of a purpose by doing itself. Maybe if I did a DreamWorks show thing and also cover Legend of Awesomeness, but then I realized I'd also need to finish the entirety of Monsters vs. Aliens the series, and especially the numerous Netflix stuff like Trolls and freaking Boss Baby, and no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, I refuse. So probably not. Are you gonna make a Secret Saturdays review eventually, now that grad school's first semester is done? Well, similar to before, it's going to be more difficult. One, it's still a pretty niche show that isn't guaranteed to get an audience, so I'd again have to wait until I get more subscribers. And then I'd also need to fully rewatch the show and script the entire thing. And also, I just don't feel it's the right time for it. A lot of my videos, I wait until I feel like it's appropriate to do. I never try to force a video. Secret Saturdays one day will very well get its time, but that time isn't today, and probably won't be for a while. Now please stop asking me this. What other ideas do you have for your Teenage Kraken animatics that you haven't gotten around to yet? Well, you should get one soon enough, but as I said, these animatics depends largely on the context of the audio. If I can find a good piece of audio that's long enough and can fit into the world of Ruby Gilman, then there's a chance I can animatic it. But unfortunately, a large part of the show really can't. And I've been trying to look for them. This next one may be my last big one, at least I can find something else new. Do you own a pair of sunglasses like your avatars? And will you ever change the color of the frame in the future? I do own a few pairs of sunglasses, but actually, no. I mean, I would love to have a pair of dual colored lenses, but honestly, I kinda look like an idiot going in public like that, where people wonder why I'm wearing 3D glasses or something. Maybe if I ever get big enough to make convention appearances, I will totally make a custom pair for it. But yeah, nah, I can't actually wear that. I have changed the color of the shades in special videos, namely at Christmas or Halloween seasons. What did inspire you to be an artist? I'm someone who's been working on my own universe and world building and lore that could potentially be a franchise one day. I love hearing from other artists, especially ones that are pretty underrated and seem awesome like you. Thanks a lot for that last part, it means a lot to me. Funny enough, it really happened at around high school. Back then I had this really tight friend group, and one day I had like this OC idea and I started to draw it and develop it. Back then I had like no real art skills, but I really wanted to do it as a fun outlet for my creative works, and I really wanted to make this weird world I had that honestly kind of makes my modern identity to this day. Eventually I tried to do it digitally, and over the years I tried more and more and got better, tried looking up more tutorials and kept up, and just kept it as a hobby and creative outlet to this day. And it's really helped me a lot on this channel. I think if I wasn't an artist, I wouldn't be able to do this stuff. So yeah, basically I work to be an artist to bring my original content to life, and I kind of feel the same for a lot of people. And while it does take time to legit get good, I always feel that things worth having aren't easy to get, and every single thing you do, you get better, and you're truly getting better and more skilled the more you do it. You gotta be proud of your progress, no matter what. I don't know if this counts as weird, but forgive me if it is, but as a kid who had watched Adventure Time religiously back in the day when Cartoon Network was peak, is there any particular character that you absolutely loved and maybe had a bit of a crush on? Mine's Marceline. I just love how she evolved through the franchise. I can't really remember having an Adventure Time crush. Marceline maybe wasn't like down bad for her, but she definitely was my favorite. I mean, my first fictional crush was Duna from Fossil Fires because, man, you can't turn down a cool ass alien dinosaur lady. Do you have any pets? This is a bit of a personal life question, but it's vague enough I'll let it pass. I've had 2 dogs in my life. I love them very much, but sadly both have long passed away now. I still miss them a lot to this day, but I think I can't have the responsibility of another pet in my life nowadays. I just have too much to do. Do you have any plans to make your own potential franchise? Your OC superhero universe seems pretty interesting, that catches my eye. I actually have so many projects I'd love to develop. Like I think I have 10, with only a handful I've ever actually posted publicly. Some of them out to something like making a comic or something. Hopefully if I can like one day be able to fund and finance it. Though the hot stretch content is the one I've been posting the most recently, and I feel like it's the most attention in my art sites. Right now I don't have any ideas or really confidence in my own skill to make a full-fledged comic, aside from just making the occasional mini comics and designs of the world and characters. If I had the chance, I would love to have this picked up as some sort of animated series as a kind of somewhat lighthearted superhero homage and parody, in the same vein as like Word Girl like Justice League Action. But even if I did, I don't know what I would do with it, like to make it stand out to be really special. At this point, it's something I like doing and making art in the occasional animatic. I might as well post some.
Maybe when we catch up to them, we could...
Gotta be assertive. Like this. Ah, that's perfect. Just hold that pose. I gotta get something. You know, I swear there was some kind of bazooka back here, but I'm having such trouble finding it.
Pomni, take this!
So what you got from my speech about how you should never give up is that you should give up?
Well, you did say give up a lot.
Have you seen any shows that air on Toonami? If so, which ones did you enjoy the most? Yeah, about that, I'm actually like really not an anime guy, like at all. It's not that I hate anime, far from it. It's just that I've never really been able to get into any anime I've seen. Like genuinely outside the Pokemon and Yokai Watch anime that are attached to franchises I already enjoy, I generally cannot seem to really get into and continue with different animes. I don't hate them again, I just can't get invested in them. I don't know if it's just the tone or writing or pacing of animes, but I guess it's to my Western tuned brain, it just makes it really hard for me to get super invested and attached to. Maybe there's an anime out there I'd finally get super into, but yeah, there's a reason why you're never gonna see anything anime related on this channel. What's the next show you're gonna use for your Why It Sucks to Live In type of videos? It depends, but probably Adventure Time or even regular show. Both of those shows fit perfectly, so those are the ones I definitely consider. What's your favorite decade for television animation? Hard choice, I really can't say. I do love the 2000s for the variety of shows when it felt like studios treated them with respect, and they were super imaginative and out there. It's definitely a nostalgic time. But I also love the 2010 serialization boom, with animation now taking more risks with actual storytelling and drama. Those are some of the most acclaimed shows now, becoming much more normalized. But the downfall of TV and the rise of streaming also really hurt the respect animation has been given by the actual producers. It makes it harder for shows just to exist. It's a hard choice. What's your favorite art style from any Adult Swim show? I actually don't watch a lot of adult animation, so a lot of the stuff either never interests me or just generic adult crude humor. Kind of ironic that so many kid shows end up more mature and well written, not to mention a lot don't have the greatest art style. But for exceptions, at least Venture Bros has a great style to it, and things like Primal, like come on, you can't go wrong with Gendy. Out of all the various styles that you have drawn your OC in, which one is your favorite? Well, I've definitely done quite a few. Honestly, I probably should have made even more Persona styles. My favorite to draw is probably the Chalk Zone style. I enjoyed all the expressions I was able to do. For designing, definitely the Halloween one. I actually took a while to fall into the Dull Hand idea, but I love how it is. And for detail, I'm proud of the Pokemon style Persona I should use in the retrospective video. Will the Captain N video still be coming out sometime in 2026? Well, I was planning to do the Captain N video in July, but with how much absolutely no one was watching my video game cartoon videos back then, it killed my desire to dedicate time in a video I doubt anyone would watch. Which is a shame because, as I said, Captain N has a weird stranglehold on me. I'm gonna try and do it next summer, and I really hope it turns out a lot better. What's your favorite gaming console that you own? Well, I have a few consoles. I got a 3DS, Wii U, Switch, Xbox 360, and a One. I never actually owned a PlayStation in my life, funny enough. I also bought a Switch 2 recently at Black Friday when I figured if it didn't go on sale then, it wouldn't go on sale for like another year. And then 3 days later, I saw it on discount, and I am so unbelievably mad about that, like seriously. Mario Kart World was pretty underwhelming, but goddamn do I love Bonanza. For a favorite, I definitely gotta say 3DS. That's one of my favorite games on it, and the one I consider my most cherished one. Oh boy, that's a lot. I'll try to be quick. Have you seen Murder Drones? If yes, will you make a video on it? If no, do you have any interest in seeing it? No, I haven't. I really don't have any interest. I'm glad Liam Vickers got a show, but honestly I wish Cliff Sky got picked up instead. Like, come on, look at some of these designs. I need a fantasy western cartoon in my life. Come on, inject it in my veins. Are you optimistic or worried about the future for Pixar, DreamWorks, and the other major animation studios? Yeah, I'm pretty worried with Disney lately prioritizing sequels and profits. And how badly Universal has been treating DreamWorks recently has genuinely worried me about the studios, especially with the stuff I've heard about behind the scenes. At least Illumination seemingly is getting some redemption with the Mario IP, but honestly, every hope for the industry has, I feel there's more things to worry about. Have you seen Has-Been Hotel, A Hell of a Boss? I've seen Has-Been's pilot and I'm not impressed, and I'm really not a fan of VZ's style and design, especially writing. Will you make another Digital Circus video? I did make a few Digital Circus videos when it was starting, but I stopped because I didn't really feel qualified. Like so many other people do these when they come out, and they honestly do a better job than me. I never really like these first impression stuff because it's so easy not to notice stuff or them to be outdated. I just don't think it's worth it. Maybe when the show ends I'll do a big video on it, but honestly I'd rather leave those videos for the other guys. Do you have any plans about making videos about Inside Out 2 or Zootopia 2? I did make a video on Inside Out 2, I did it when it just came out. But also, as I said, I'm not too big on these first impression videos. I just find making them kind of rushed and unsatisfying. I prefer when you have more time to think and get more knowledge about media than making a big video on it when it just came out. And honestly, I'm not really that big on the first Zootopia anyway. What are some of your favorite superhero and kaiju movies, both animated and live action? Actually, I'm not really big on kaiju movies. I get the appeal, but I feel people can just be really obsessed over it. But me personally, it's just not for me. Spider-Verse is probably my favorite superhero movie. I'm not even a Spider-Man fan. I do enjoy most of the pre-Phase 4 MCU movies, but not many if you're like super obsessive to me. But obviously Infinity War and Endgame were amazing. Honestly, I hate how the MCU has gotten a ton of revisionist history after the bad output recently, with people being like, oh, it was never good. Yes, it was. You guys love these things. Stop acting like babies with no sense of object permanence. What are some of your favorite animated movies and shows not made by any of the major studios? Oh, this one's tough. Some more obscure studios? Well, for some, I loved Cuba and the Two Strings by Laika, like God, it was beautiful. So was Song of the Sea. It was so nice and underrated as hell. How the entire studio cartoon saloon is. There's also a foreign film, April in the Extraordinary World, I really love. It feels needs more attention. It's a weird, unorthodox steampunk-like story I think a lot of people would love. And finally, if you were able to make your own original story, whether it be a show, comic, video game, or whatever, what would it be about? And which studio would you go in order to make it? This ties into a lot of what I said earlier. I have so many ideas that honestly most probably won't be feasibly possible. Some of them I think I could probably do if I get really successful here and get the funding and reputation. Like, I can probably commission people to make some comments with my idea. If you follow my art sites for long, then honestly I'd love to do a Princess Flare type game. I've had a few ideas on how it could work, but again it would be a long shot to actually make even remotely feasible. There are some I'd like as a series but haven't made publicly. So yeah, really the hot stretch stuff is the stuff I posted much about that I would actually like to make to an animated series. I think it fits very well into it with Blake's personality and powers and all the rogues gallery I made for them. But as I said, I do struggle with like anything to really make it stand out because it's mostly pretty low-key and casual. And while that might work fine for plenty of people, I feel it wouldn't deserve the time, effort, and cost it would take to bring it to life, especially compared to other media. But you know, I make a dream and I really would love to work on my own animated series. Well, aside from the horror stories I've heard by other creators, but let's ignore that. If I could work on a Ruby Gilman animated series, it would literally be a dream come true. I have so many ideas. Studios, I generally don't know. And that should be about it. Man, that was a lot, but I am so happy I was able to answer so many of your questions and get to interact with them. It really makes me so happy that so many of you watch my content, but are also interested in me as a person, and not to ask not only about my opinions on media and videos, but also so much about me as a person and my own history and ambitions. It feels so nice to not only know that I'm not just talking to a screen, like it feels so often, but that I have legitimately reached so many people and they legitimately like my content and they feel a connection to me, not just as a content creator. It's so nice after I struggle a lot with confidence in my abilities and if people really would like anything I made. But I'm so happy that I really have and I love it. And I love all of you guys. And I really enjoyed making this Q&A. I hope I can do another one eventually. Maybe if I hit 20k subscribers. But yeah, I also haven't forgot about the Pokemon Fire Red retrospective for the occasion too. But as I said in the poll, it's definitely gonna take some time to finish. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I really did. But until next time, see you guys later.